Yeah, well, that's what I was just about to say. I want this to be like conversational. So like use the chat if you have questions, but also interrupt me. I can talk fast and I can talk a lot, but just chime on in. So thank you so much for being on this call. It's been a rough couple years around the world, but especially in Haiti with COVID completely shutting down the country. We had no flights in or out for about a year. It was a huge blessing because Haiti did not have the infrastructure to be able to support. If there were a large outbreak of COVID, we luckily had, I mean, it was basically non-existent at the end of the day. And so it was helpful for that, but really stopped, people being able to visit, really halted our missions program. And so we're excited to now be on the other side of that, and be welcoming groups back. You see Haiti a lot in the news. The Haiti that you see in the news is Port-au-Prince, which is the capital. We are located up in the north in Cap-Haïtien. And so we are far away from the chaos and all of that you see and hear about, that's happening in Port-au-Prince. It's about 120 miles, but due to, the roads just being gravel and you're traveling through mountains, it's about a 7 or 8 hour drive. So very far removed. It would take a lot for any of that chaos to make its way up north. So we are safe, we're stable up in Cap, and we're just excited to welcome people back. So with that, Wayne, anything else you want to add before we kind of kick off and get into tonight's agenda?
No, you've covered quite a bit of it. I just want to do a quick intro of myself. So my name is Wayne Huber. I live in Pearland, Texas, which is just south of Houston. And I've been involved with Streethearts ever since the moment I stepped on soil in Haiti about 5 years ago. And I was introduced to Streethearts about 10 years ago, but it took me a while to get there, and I finally did and fell in love. So I'm super excited about this opportunity for other people to get to know about what I am so passionate about, and look forward to going on with this presentation and answering all the questions you may have, and then going with you to Haiti. So I'm super excited about that as well. That's it.
Thanks, Wayne. And Wayne will be leading our January and July 2024 trips. So you will see him a lot if you plan to join us. So just a little bit of an overview. I'm going to talk a bit about who we are, go into our Impact Adventure program, which is how we approach missions. Impact, by the way, is Haitian Creole for impact. So we approach this in a very intentional way to be positively impacting the country of Haiti. Then we'll go through some FAQs and then finally open it up to Q&A for any outstanding questions. So about us, you see here on the screen, our mission, vision, values. I really just want to hit home. We started back in 2012 with about 20 kids that we had funding to support basically a safe place for them to sleep. The violence in Cap-Haïtien was growing. And so we wanted to ensure that at the very least, we could take them off the streets. We had, showers, bars of soap, toothbrushes, but couldn't afford, to feed them or anything like that. And just by trusting in what the Lord's vision was for this and what our next steps would be, we've grown to now support over 200 children in our care through the various services. So amazing growth there. And we truly believe, in our vision statement here, where God calls us, we will go. We're in Haiti, that's where we started, but child homelessness exists all over the world. So as opportunities present themselves, we are very interested in growing and using our model across the world. So we've looked at programs in Jamaica, in Kenya, and actually in Miami, Florida as well. So want to show a video for those of you who have been involved in Streethearts for a bit. You've probably seen this before. It's a little bit outdated at this point, but it gives you, I wanted to make sure everyone saw, some of the kids and heard from Lindsay. So this video was filmed in 2016. A lot of the principles are the same. But the kids are a bit older now. So I will kick this off.
Each morning, Lindsay Jorgensen wonders if the street children of Cap-Haïtien will choose the refuge she offers or try to survive on their own.
The first thing I do is pray, because you need God to be able to do this job.
Lindsay is the founder of Streethearts, an organization born from a bond with the kids who captured her heart.
The streets of Haiti are no place for a child, but because of poverty, abusive situations, or simply having no family, that's where many of them end up.
They're forced into adulthood at 5, 6, 7 years old. And the longer they're on the street, the harder it is to reverse their mentality or to come in and try to help guide them, because at that point they've already been so wronged that they feel like they know everything and everybody's against them.
Lindsay first connected with the street children of Haiti in 2012. She would literally run across them on her daily jogs along the boulevard. She soon discovered they shared something in common.
It was kind of like I definitely stuck out and I was the odd person in town, and they are also in their way the odd ones left out in their communities. They didn't have anyone, I didn't have anyone, and we just started hanging out.
By earning their trust, she heard their stories.
I was 6 when I was in the street. I had a friend named Zama, and he was on the streets with me. And I was in the street with my friend Zama, and some other street guys came and wanted to cut us with a blade. Everywhere I went to go to sleep, they came and followed us with that razor blade. Guys used to come and beat us and take money from us. Money we collected begging in the street.
Heavy sexual abuse, kids as young as 7 engaged in sexual acts with men for food.
That's why Lindsay started Streethearts. Her mission? Create a safe haven for boys living on the streets of Haiti. The ministry recently realized it had an even bigger calling due to an increase in street violence.
One thing we've seen recently is child sacrifice, and that is due to the voodoo here, that a voodoo doctor would come and for whatever reason someone would pay to steal a child's soul. So then they kill the child, they basically stone them to death, and then they take the soul of the child. Oftentimes they'll take their teeth or something, and then they do a spell, and that soul gives whoever that wants it power and influence.
That evil led Streethearts to offer what's called Phase 1. Kids who aren't ready to fully leave the streets can catch a tap-tap or Haitian taxi that will take them to the Streethearts shelter. They receive a meal, shower, and clean bed for the night. Then they officially join the program and move into a bigger shelter. A Streetheart team works with each boy, teaching responsibility, discipline, and respect. Most importantly, they learn they are somebody and they're loved.
We serve as father figures to them, and we use that as medical treatment in their lives.
Patience, love, more patience and some more love. You just gotta be patient with them. Most likely they'll come along.
Lindsay feels a daily struggle between the weight of her work and the normalcy of it all.
You never know what's going to happen. You don't know if a child's going to die that day, who's going to be sick. And then on top of that, you're dealing with basically the day-to-day mom stuff, which is school, soccer practice. This one's got this issue. One kid wants you to see his art project, running errands everywhere. And it's not, 2 children, it's 75.
Phase 3 helps those over 18 focus on workforce development. The Streethearts team finds partners to take on the kids as interns. The progress can be slow. Transforming a hardened adult in the body of a 6-year-old back into a child takes time.
It's imperative that you take a step back from time to time to just look at them and see how far they've come, whether it's in their mannerisms, the way they dress, how they represent themselves, getting report cards. One of our most troubled kids is the president of his entire school.
Jorgensen says that above all, her hope for these children is that she will see them in heaven.
That is so important for me. When I die, and I pray that I die before them, I cannot see one more kid die. I want to just sit at the gate and wait and watch them all come in.
And so she presses on, relentlessly seeking the boys she hasn't yet been able to reach.
The kids know that every night the tap-tap will come, but it's still up to them whether they accept the help or stay on the streets.
Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Cap Haitian, Haiti.
Powerful video, really cool to be able to see it, and hope you're feeling like you're kind of there. We still function across those 3 objectives. So night shelter, we call it now the Heart House. and then this community outreach and transition. And so when you're down visiting with us, you'll have interactions with kids at all 3 of the levels. Our night shelter currently is open in Wanamath, which is the border city between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. We opened it at a very needed time. For the past year or so, the Dominican Republic has been deporting Haitians that maybe have lived there their whole lives and grown up there. And so we've seen an influx of kids coming back over the DR border that don't have family in Haiti and need a place to stay. So this is very basic care. They are not committed to leaving, we would still consider them a street kid at this point. And they can stay there, throughout the day if they want to hang out, but really it's a safe place to sleep. We do offer meals now, shower, safe place to keep your things. And once commitment is shown for 3 months consistently sleeping there, they can then move into enrollment and live full-time in the Heart House, which is where you all will be spending the majority of your time when you visit, located right in Cap Haitian. And so that's where kids are living there full-time. We wouldn't really call them street kids anymore. We are their full-time guardians. They're enrolled in school. We have everything from soccer, basketball, Bible studies, arts, people are making bracelets, painting canvases. We really try to approach each child in an individualistic way and walk alongside them of, what are your dreams of what you want to be when you grow up and what do you like to do? And so creating that path for them that's unique to each child. And then this last phase here, transition. So it's kind of like going to college, we're giving them independence, but it's structured independence. So they're out on their own. We're helping them set up a small business. And while we're helping to support them for these 4 years, we're teaching them, life development skills like budgeting or, making sure they can do their own laundry, and that kind of stuff, and holding on to a certain percentage of their income, putting that into a savings account for each of the kids so that when they graduate out, they have this nest egg. They've had 4 years of growing this small business, and they can now graduate out and be successful members of their community. Big emphasis here on community outreach. Our whole program focuses on community outreach, but especially here in that these are young adults that have gone from living on the street. And so they know poverty and they know what that's like. And now they are working towards being, the successful contributing members of their communities. So they give back to, whether that's volunteering in a hospital. We recently have started a project where we partner with a elderly care facility where our kids are going and taking care of the elderly there, painting the homes or, home maintenance for families that cannot afford to, take care of something like that. So really heavy emphasis on that in that final phase. And just one last thing before we get into the fun stuff of a visit, just Streethearts and numbers. So we average about 40 to 50 boys in our night shelter per night. We are hoping to reopen a shelter in downtown Cap Haitian. We've just been trying to find the right location. So that number would double when we would open that center. Our Heart House, we have 85 boys enrolled in school, some for the first time, which is very exciting. School started 2 weeks ago. So they're back at it. We partner with 3 schools in the Cap Haitian area and put our kids in the school that matches with the level of rigor that they can handle. So if it's a kid starting school for the first time, we would put them in a program that's a little less rigorous, but we also have kids that have been in school for years and have opportunities to, have internships or go to university in the States, which is awesome. And then the last piece, we have 20 boys learning a trade and participating in life development classes, with about 25 more who have graduated out of the program. And just one last quote to leave it on, and then Wayne, I'll pull you in if you had anything else just to add about the program overall. Our kids truly believe that they are the next generation that will change Haiti. And it's awesome to watch them, over the past 11 years grow. And they truly believe that. And, we have one that wants to be a pastor and one that wants to be a lawyer and one that wants to be a teacher. And one day, I believe it too, they're going to be taking over all the industries and changing the way that, this country runs, which is really, really awesome. So exciting to be a part of, excited to bring you all along for the ride too. And so, Wayne, if you have anything else to add, otherwise we can get into the fun stuff of coming to visit.
Well, I didn't really plan on adding anything at this moment, but I can't help but look at that slide where it says we are the next generation that will change Haiti. Go back to that one. Aren't all of those boys still in the house?
Yeah.
But they're so little.
I know. Yeah.
I just, wow, I'm looking at them going, my goodness, they've grown so much since then. And just amazing testament to this organization. And these kids are still with us and flourishing. Look at the smiles. I can't get over the smiles. A lot of times we think of Haiti being a third world country and it's impoverished and things are, not so good for them there. But look at these smiles. These are so genuine. That's amazing. Okay, enough of me. But yeah, go on to the next thing and I'll talk about Enpak.
Yeah. Well, and these pictures are a couple years old now. So if you see Aladas, who's the kid all the way to the left, and then I go here. So that's him now. He is a lead in our Impact Adventure program. And it's just crazy to see, him grow up over the past 10 plus years. So really, really awesome. And now he's a leader and you will get to know him very well when you're down visiting with us because he is.
Wow. And Ricardo was speaking in the first in the interview.
Video. Yeah.
And now he's in Impact. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. I know.
Very cool.
Okay, so our Impact Adventure program, we address mission trips, approach mission trips a little bit differently than maybe you'd be familiar with in the past. So we recognize that when coming on a trip, whether you're fundraising for it, and so you want to come back and say, hey, I accomplished this, this, and this, or, you're just coming home and want to tell your friends and family about that. It's important to say, here's the things that I did, and here's the things that I achieved. But what we don't want to do, especially in a country like Haiti that's over 80% unemployed, is take job opportunities away from those who desperately need them. And so we created our Impact Adventure program where you can still walk away saying, I made an impact on Haiti during my visit there by providing jobs for, at the very least, the 5 impact guides who have been trained in tourism. They're young adults that have graduated out of the Streethearts program who are trained in, they're learning the English. They're a little shy with it, but they know more than they get on to. Budgeting, customer service, all of that stuff. And they are alongside you from the second you step out of the airport. And I'm just going to turn to this one so you can see the bright blue shirts. So they're in these bright blue shirts with their picture or with their names on the back. So you can't miss them. And they're with you second you step out of the airport to the second we drop you back off. And they are so proud of this job that they have of taking care of the group. It's provided them with such self-esteem for themselves, but also pride in their country, because we approach these trips in that we want groups to come down and yes, you're going to see the trash and you're going to see the poverty and there's no way you can miss that. But also let's highlight the beauty of Haiti. And these kids get to show that to you. And so how cool is that when they've been told their whole lives, Haiti's dirty and there's trash everywhere and, everyone is poor there. But now you're getting to change the perception of these, foreign travelers coming in to visit with you. So really, really cool there. And you get to walk away saying, I helped the Haitian economy, which is 80% unemployed, by giving these kids a job and a purpose. So last thing I'll say here, and then I'm going to turn it to Wayne to kind of walk you through what a typical week looks like. It's also an opportunity to build relationships. And that's what we really, really emphasize. Our kids have a variety of backgrounds, abuse, as you heard, situations of abandonment. And so what they need is love. They truly just need love. They need someone to come play soccer with them. They need someone to come, color on, construction paper with them, build a craft, something, just your time. And so we set up the week so that you're spending time, and despite the language barrier and despite, you coming from 2 very different worlds, I guarantee by the end of the week, and clicked ahead there, but that's okay. That by the end of the week, you're going to walk away being like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much about these kids and this culture, and I can't wait to go tell people about it. And so really intentionally setting up this experience so that you all are able to immerse yourself into it and walk away with a whole new perception on the culture. the last thing I'll add here, so we know that it's been tough to get a whole group to come back together to commit to dates given the past couple of years. And so we're offering January 3rd through 8th and July 17th through the 22nd as our 2 trips next year that we already have, I think about 7 people signed up for January and another 5 or so signed up for July. We can go upwards of 20 people per group. We try to get it about 10 to 15, but we can go smaller, we can go bigger. But know that, you know, if you're signing up, you're not alone. But it's an opportunity for people to come back and they'll be with others, and that helps with the cost, and it helps with, you know, having that experience with other people. And you get to hang out with Wayne and you get to hang out with me. So that's always fun too. But we just wanted to open up this opportunity to encourage people to come back, but maybe they don't necessarily have a full group to do that. And so with that, Wayne, why don't you share with us what everyone will be doing? And then we have a little video clip to show you a little bit more of Haiti, just so you feel like you're there.
Okay, well, so a couple of things came to mind as you were talking through all of that. And one of the points that I want to make, or kind of, I guess, boost a little bit more than you did, was when we go there, not only are we helping the boys out that we're employing through Streethearts, but it's hard for Americans to get their mind around what I'm about to say. We are literally employing every hotel staff person, every driver, every security person, every translator. So, I mean, when you multiply that out, how many people we're impacting, it is, 20 families before you know it. And so, I mean, it's a much bigger impact than the boys that we're seeing as far as from a financial standpoint. Now, I'm going to also warn you, though, when you get there, the boys are going to pay so much attention to you, these impact boys. You're going to think they're overdoing it because you're an American baby. You're not. They just love you that much. And they take this job so seriously. So they're going to be constantly asking you, are you okay? Do you need more water? What do you need? And that's just genuine. They just really want to help you out. So be prepared for that. And then when you get to the house the first day, so I'm going to kind of go through our days. The very first day when you get out of the airport, you're going to be met by myself and Emily and the boys. We're going to take you to the first house in Cap Haitian, and you're going to get about 60 hugs. So I'm hoping you're good with hugs, because you're going to get a bunch of them. If you don't like them, give them to me. I'll take them. So, but seriously, you are going to get a lot of love from these boys, and that's genuine as well. It's not staged. It's nothing other than the boys loving seeing people come to visit them. And then that night, we're going to go check into the hotel. Next morning, we're going to wake up good and early, have breakfast, and we're going to go out on an adventure. I'm not going to go through every single adventure because it takes up a lot of time. What I'm going to say is you're going to spend an entire day with some of these boys, getting to know their country and their passion for it. And the country is amazing to begin with. I've seen it so many times, but I love every adventure we go on, even the ones I've done 10 times. I still love them. You'll have so much fun with the boys, getting to know them, and then you'll get to spend more quality time with them in the afternoon. So that will be day after day. We'll do similar things, but different destinations. Again, you'll have plenty of water, plenty of fluids, whatever you need. Don't think you're going to a third world country to starve, because we're not going to do that. But you are going to be eating different things and experiencing different things. So be ready for that. And then each afternoon, okay, so whether we're doing crafts or BDS, is reading some of this right quick. What I'm going to suggest that we do, this is what we used to do in the beginning, was each evening we're going to gather and we're going to do kind of a devotion / debrief, kind of a question and answer thing. What happened throughout the day that you liked? What concerns did you have? Just different things like that, so that you know that there is a time at the end of your day to ask us questions. And this brings another thing to mind. When I went there the very first time, I'm going to brag on Emily for just a second. I think I asked her at least 1,000 questions, and she answered every single one of them. So please, I say that to say, ask questions. Why is there a pig eating the garbage? Why is there a rooster chasing the donkey? I mean, I don't know. Why is all these things happening? Please ask the questions. Don't think that anything's stupid, but we really want you to enjoy your time, but feel safe and feel loved at the same time as well. I think that's enough as far as the adventures. Emily, do you think I need to add anything else?
I don't think so. I think it always helps to see it, and I just love this little video. Makes me so happy. So I will flip it to that, Wayne, if it works for you.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, what a feeling. Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we come now. There's beauty in the unity we found. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors. Ready the people, a new day has just begun, and I wear my colors on my back. Yeah, we created equal, one race and that's human. Can't wait till they all see that. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we come now. There's beauty in the unity we found. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors. One hand, two hands for your colors, yeah. Show your true colors. Here we go. Let's put on the show. Let's put on the show right now. Let me see your hands, Look how far we come now. There's beauty in the unity we found. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now.
So for those who don't know, Jason Derulo is from Haiti, and that song was, I think, a World Cup song that he filmed at the Citadel, which was that giant castle that you saw on top of the mountain. So if you haven't already seen the video, definitely go check it out because you'll see some familiar sights. So that was, you saw Wayne in there a bit, really cool. That was, I think, your first trip, Wayne.
It was.
And it was cool. We had another guy named Bill who was on the trip that had the drone. So like really cool to have that footage as well to incorporate. But you will get to see all those sights and sounds in real time when you come down to visit. But just wanted to give a little taste of that before we get into FAQs. I'll pause though. Any questions about anything before we get into anything? I know we've been kind of speeding through it, but I want to make sure we have time for Q&A at the end. Okay. All right. The big one to start. What is it cost? What is the cost? We estimate about $1,700 to $2,000, including flights, for a week-long trip to visit Streethearts. The group size, how quickly you book your flight, and then just the types of activities we end up creating in the itinerary will determine the final price, which I will email you 6 weeks out, so that you know your final in-country trip amount. We do not book flights. We ask that you all book those, and I'll go through that in a second, but your flight will serve as your deposit for your trip. And so, but again, this number includes the flights and what it would be for your in-country, all-inclusive cost of all your stuff while you're there. How do I get to Haiti? Great question. So there is a daily flight from Fort Lauderdale to Cap Haitien Airport via Spirit Airlines. Spirit is probably not all of our favorite airlines to fly, but it's the only one that flies directly into Cap Haitian. The current flight schedule has you leaving Fort Lauderdale at 8 a.m., arriving in Cap Haitian at 9:45, which means you will fly in the night before. So I know for like those of us DC area, Spirit only flies out of Baltimore Airport. So I normally fly, American Airlines or something down for the night. But I know, Wayne, you could fly Spirit straight through, which is convenient. So, all for what your preference is. But for the January trip, you would fly in the evening of January 2nd. For the July trip, the evening of July 16th. We have this hotel recommendation that's about 5 minutes from the airport, but I understand too that, people might have Hilton points or Hyatt points or, a preference of a hotel. This one is very convenient. They have an airport shuttle in the morning, pretty decently priced, and I will share the link with that. But our ask is everyone gets there the night before, and then we'll convene at the airport at, a certain time so that everyone travels in a group to get there. Vaccines, none are required. There are quite a few, as you can see, that are recommended. I would say go to your local international doctor and tell them you're going to Haiti and talk it through, and then determine what you're comfortable with, what you want to do for yourself to feel comfortable traveling to Haiti. The main ones I would say would be important to consider would be typhoid. It's a pill. I believe you take it about a month before, and then you take it a week before, just because that typhoid is something that's in the water. So it does come up at times. And then ciprofloxacin. So you're in a country where the food and the water and all of that is different. Sometimes there are stomach issues. Ciprofloxacin is an antibiotic that will immediately kill everything, nip it in the butt, whichever the saying is. And so it's a good one to keep on hand. It is something we can get in country. So if you don't remember to get it, we can get it for you. But those would be the two that I would say, if you're considering getting anything, those would be the two that I would recommend. But again, all up to you on what you're comfortable with ahead of travel. Where will we be staying? So our philosophy is we want you to sleep well. We don't want you to be uncomfortable. We want you to feel safe. And so we put our groups in Hotel Montjoli, which I'll turn here so you guys can get the full picture. It's a beautiful hotel. Quite a few people on this call have stayed there. There's a pool, which is very nice at the end of a hot day, to jump into the pool, cool down. It's right downtown in Cap Haitian. You can walk to a lot of the restaurants in town, which is nice, to experience some of the culture. There's power, air conditioning. We really want you all showing up as your best selves for our kids every day. And you're not going to show up as your best self if you're tired and covered in mosquito bites and sweaty and uncomfortable. And so we put groups in a hotel so that we have this, common meeting ground that has the power, has the AC, and people feel safe there. What do I pack? I'm not going to go over all of this. The bottom line is Haiti is hot. So it is always hot. So tank tops, workout clothes, you're going to be sweating. Bring the sunscreen, definitely bring the bug spray, bathing suit and cover up for beach day. And then the only other thing that I will highlight here is there's a menu at Haitian restaurants. It's not always what's actually on the menu. And so if you have any dietary restrictions or want snacks or anything, definitely make sure you have those things, because we cannot guarantee that we can always accommodate them. Yes. Okay, and now we're to the fun part. How do I secure my spot? So I hope that you guys are excited about coming to visit us after all this fun. The first step is booking your flight. So as I said, your flight confirmation serves as your deposit. If you're ready to go ahead and book. As I said, Spirit is the only airline that flies directly into Cap Haitian. I will follow up with all this information so that you are making sure you're booking the right place. We ask that you're submitting this 2 months before your trip. So that would be November or May for the July trip. That will be your deposit. And then, as I said, we'll send about 6 weeks in advance your remaining trip fee. And you'll just donate that on our website. If you have people that are donating towards your trip, you can send them our website link and they can donate via that link. Just make sure they put your name. But this is all inclusive. So everything from accommodations, your excursions, transportation, you know, the boys' salary, all of your meals. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a donation to Streethearts. So at the end of the trip, we'll ask you how you want to utilize your donation. We have a needs list. And that's another thing that you can say, you know, hey, I helped buy new mattresses and beds for the Streethearts boys while I was there with my group. Or, you know, I helped contribute towards a couch for their hangout room or something like that. It's all inclusive. So the only cash that you will need to bring with you is $10 to get into the country. There's a $10 entrance fee, and then optional spending money. So if you wanted things like, you know, extra, you know, drinks or snacks or something at the hotel, you can bring cash for that. Souvenirs, we'll stop at a tourist market. If you wanted to get some art or something to take home, you can bring that. And the other thing, our Enpak guides, as Wayne highlighted, work very, very hard throughout the week. So if you wanted to leave them with a little thank you tip with some of your remaining cash, that's always appreciated too, to encourage them for the hard work that they've been doing. So I think that's all that I had. I will stop talking now because you guys have heard enough from me and open it up to any questions. Or Wayne, anything else you want to add?
This is Wes. I was just going to ask about passport.
Yes.
Yep.
That's,
Sorry, Wes, go ahead.
no, just that's required, right?
Passport is required. There's no visa requirements or anything like that. But yes, you will need a passport to travel.
Hey, this is Josh. My question would be, what is the approach for evangelism, or is there a ministry there that's already doing outreach as far as like gospel related things?
Yeah, Wayne, I see you smiling. They've heard from you enough. Do you wanna chat?
Well, that's, I guess, one thing that we were in error didn't mention, that a big part of Streethearts ministry or the mission is ministry. So we have pastors on staff. We pour into the kids daily. They attend Bible studies. There's a lot of requirements, a lot of things that we haven't gone over with y'all on this call, but that's a great question, because that's top of the importance to me. Like Lindsay shared in her video, my biggest wish is that when I get to heaven before these boys, is that I see them come through as well. So yeah, that's huge. That's number one for me. So definitely there.
Yeah. And our kids, so something that occurs a lot in Haitian churches is that you have to be dressed to the nines. It's no Park Valley, Josh, where you can kind of come as you are. You have to be dressed to the nines. The more that you tithe, the closer you can sit to the front. And so one, it was important that we partnered with local churches where our kids would be comfortable and accepted, and that they didn't quite have that mentality. And two, with our street kids that are still on the streets, with not a lot of resources to them, we started a street church called No Shoes, No Problem. So kids, come as you are, and they get a little PB&J, and it's really just teaching the kids, you have a dad, you have worth, and it has it's our initial opening to have these kids join the program. So the spiritual side of Streethearts is huge.
Do you notice a lot of gospel manipulation from the influence of voodoo?
Yeah. It's voodoo is real. That the saying is 99% Catholic, 100% voodoo. Because even if you are super strong in your faith, the voodoo is real in Haiti. That little in the video, I don't know if you saw, because I know you're on your phone, but there's like this little cave that you can go down into at one of the places that we go, and it's where they perform a lot of voodoo ceremonies. And it's a part of the culture that I think everyone should see and experience, but it's something that we work really hard to combat with our kids. Of, you don't have to be scared of this. It is something that's just a part of everyday life. And you can go pay the so-and-so guy to make you $1 million or something like that. And when that doesn't work out, of course, it's, well, you didn't believe hard enough, so you need to give more money towards this. And so, there's all these, get rich quick, or, change your luck quick things that are very alive and well. And then some darker things too. But we try to be very, very intentional. That's why we have, pastors on staff every day at noon in the summertime. And then after school, during the school year, we have a stop and pray time. So all the kids come together. It's led by a different child every day, where they, have some, I'm thinking of the Creole word for it, like devotional time, of prayer and Bible study, of coming together, because that's really, really important down there, given the turmoil with voodoo.
Hey, Emily, if those 2 weeks don't work with our schedules, is there a chance to go another time? Or is this specifically the 2 travel opportunities because of school and other stuff that they're involved in?
We will always open our doors another time. It's just, if people, that coming with a group, the benefits of it are the cost is lower than coming by yourself, because Haiti, believe it or not, is very expensive. And so it helps with that. And it helps with just having, I don't know, camaraderie, I guess, maybe what might be the word, of just experiencing it alongside other people. But we can definitely open up the weeks if, you all First Pres were like, we want to bring a smaller group at a different time, or if you had people, Robin, that wanted to come with you.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah, Robin, I think the idea of what really we were trying for was to make people confident in going. And, if you've never been before, then you're going to be like, what's it going to be like? So these 2 dates, you can for sure go with other people and be confident that, you're going to be with people that know the area. So, well, you're always going to be with somebody.
That is comforting. That's a great idea.
I'm trying to think, any other questions that people might. Safety, great question, Blake. The safety, we would never be advertising a trip or encouraging people to come should there be a safety concern. And I have to say, and I mean, Robin and Luann, you lived through some of the craziness a couple years back. Cap Haitian has never been, it's probably been 5+ years since it's been the way that it is right now. Every hotel is packed to the brim. People are out and about. New restaurants are opening. They're building a new hotel on the road, for those that have been out towards Fort Picolet, on that road right along the beach. And those are all great signs. The gas is back in the country, so that's awesome. It's not $30 a gallon anymore, which is awesome. So, from that perspective, life is kind of as normal as it gets in Haiti, back to normal. If not, people are thriving. So, safety concerns, we took the past year to really stop and reflect on, could we open the doors and confidently say, come back and you're going to be okay. And truly, I believe that this is the time to open the doors back up. And Blake, I know you asked the question, but you were also just there. So if you have anything to add to that, or Wayne, feel free to add it too, just from your perspective of how you felt in Haiti.
Oh, it felt completely normal for me. It was actually really weird. It felt more normal than I guess, the previous time that I had been, and that was, and what was it, in May of 2022. And if you were to look at the media at the time that we had just gone recently, it looked a little unsettling and unsure, but it was like the most normal that it was that, than the previous time. So it was good.
Yeah, I also noted that the many times that I've been, in the beginning, of course, the very first time you go, it's going to be unsettling because you're seeing things you've never seen before. But I went, gosh, I've been probably at least 3 times by myself. And some of it was during COVID. And you could tell the difference in the people on the streets and just the different vibe of everything. But this time it really did. It felt the most normal from the very beginning, since I've been going there. I felt like there was more people, especially when we went to the restaurants. They were packed. Restaurants were packed. The hotels were packed. I was there a few times during COVID when I was the only person in the hotel. So yeah, it's definitely back and doing really good. So I feel 100% confident in it.
Any other questions? I'm trying to think if there's anything. Hi, Mom.
Hi. If anybody's thinking of bringing younger children, I took Emily's brother when he was 10 and felt totally safe. And he was playing with all the kids, and it's been fun because they've kept in touch to watch them grow up. And they'll ask, where's Noah? But it was a great experience.
Yeah.
And Emily speaks the language, so you can feel comfortable there.
I'll jump in. This is Susan Pelsinski. I guess I've been on the board for 9 years, maybe. It might be 10, but I can't remember. And I took my son when he was 14. And I think the big aha for him was they got poor people and poorer people, but everybody's smiling. And he was just having a hard time with this preconceived notion that they wouldn't be smiling. And I think when you're in country like that, it's something that you just really can't fathom it until you visit and immerse yourself in it and really understand, what the people are facing, and yet how amazing the kids are doing in school and how they're supporting each other, and then how they're growing, exploring new businesses, and then, re-engaging and supporting in the next phase. And I think that was a big aha for me. And I don't know if anybody who's thinking about going, Ryan would say, well, when I was writing my college, entrance application, the trip to Haiti was the big impact thing that he had to write about. And you get into college because they want people who have experienced a bigger, wider world in a way that has meaning. And so I think, as you're trying to consider kids and ages, and group travel would seem more comfortable, and just, I think you said it right, camaraderie. There's that nice feeling of being part of a bigger group that I think is really a great treat. So
Thanks, Susan. Right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I will wrap us up here by saying, first, thank you so much for, again, hopping on, giving us an hour of your time on a Thursday evening. I really appreciate it. We will have the recording of this video for those who want to send it out to others. I do have a link, like a official sign up link, if anyone wants to fill in the form that I will put in the chat. And I will also send that out in a separate email. Oh, Susan, that just went to you, sorry. but truly, you know, it's exciting to even be able to have this conversation, because for a while there in Haiti, I mean, we just weren't sure if we were ever going to be able to welcome groups back at a larger capacity again. So to be able to sit here and confidently say we're opening our doors back up in January and July is amazing. For those who have been before, the kids truly ask about you all the time. And so just to be able to share, you know, hey, I was on this call with, you know, past visitors, our Streethearts family, we truly approach it as you all are family members who are coming to visit, you know, your out of town relatives type of thing. And so they'll be very excited to hear that we reconnected. Would love to have you all down. I am an open book in terms of if questions come to you. So I think you all have my email now. Please email me. Most of you probably have my phone. So call me, text me. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to welcome people back and get these trips up and running again. So Wayne, anything else? Maybe, do you want to pray us out, Wayne?
I will, but there's one other point I wanted to make, because a lot of people ask me, because I talk about Streethearts every day of my life, and it's barely a day that goes by that someone doesn't ask me about it. And most people are saying, well, what do you do when you go there? We kind of went through it. But to me, more importantly, what we do when we go there is we love the boys. These boys are just yearning for someone to give them attention and to love them, and to have Americans show up on our own dollar and to show them unconditional love is a bigger gift than you can ever give them. You could send them money, you could buy them things, but going there and giving them a hug and just show them that other people love them is huge. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm going to warn you, you're going to get as much out of this as the boys get out of this, because you're going to have your eyes open to a whole another part of the world and unconditional love from some boys that are just super excited to see you. So be ready to pour into people, but also be ready to be fed, because these boys are going to love you, even though they can't say, I love you, Wayne. They're saying it. You'll see it in their eyes. You'll feel it in their hugs. The worst part about, I'll say two things. The best thing about getting there is getting there and hugging all the boys. The absolute worst part, especially on your first time, it was for me, was leaving. Oh my gosh, that was like torture for me to leave. And I wanted to get back there so badly that I went back by myself a few months later, just so I could see the boys again. And anyway, that's the impact it made on me. I'll be going there as long as God keeps me on this earth. And I hope that you get to experience it as well. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Wayne. All right. Want to say a quick prayer?
Sure. Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for all the many amazing gifts that you give us each and every day. Thank you for this organization of Streethearts and for everything that they do for these boys. Thank you for the staff that is there that just does an amazing amount of work with these boys, the patience they have, the God-given talents that they use. I thank you for all of them. I thank you for all the people on this call that just give us an opportunity to tell everyone about how passionate we are about Streethearts, how passionate God is about Streethearts, and how much we want to see these boys grow and come closer to you, God. Thank you once again for this day. I hope that everybody has a good evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
All.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sure.
See you in Haiti.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.